Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this mini webinar on what's new in AnzoGraph DB version 2. I'm Steve Sarsfield, and we are very excited to announce the availability of AnzoGraph DB version 2. Version 2 provides really some great new features like improved query performance, new analytical capabilities, the ability to build your own analytical functions, tables and services, and also the availability of a free edition. So first, let me catch you up on the major innovations that have happened prior to version 2. I'm going to take a really high-level view of this, not much detail, but you can always find out more detail as part of the user documentation. Graph databases that scales. We've always been about performing analytics at scale. So if you can use AnzoGraph DB to handle millions or billions or trillions of triples to perform deep analysis of data. You can horizontally scale by adding more servers without worrying about how to shard the data. If you need more analytical firepower, all you really have to do is just add more nodes across the cluster. And we continue to improve performance of AnzoGraph with AnzoGraph version 2. In some benchmarks that we've run internally with version 2, such as TPCH and Lubum, the performance has gone up by as much as 30% from just a year ago. Graph algorithms. I'm happy to report that graph algorithms in our Sparkle RDF database are now a feature that we have. Surprisingly, not all graph databases support graph algorithms, particularly the older triple stores. So if you want to automate the discovery of entities and relationships, you will want to use the graph algorithms that we have built into AnzoGraph DB. You can use things like PageRank to find the most connected entity, or shortest path algorithms in a connected network. And it's really easy to do with AnzoGraph DB. The algorithms scale and run across the cluster for the best performance. Label property graphs. Label properties under the new proposed W3C standard are available, and they have been available for some time in AnzoGraph DB. Label properties enable users to add properties to the edges between the nodes in a graph and further define the relationships in the data. So you can describe things like the start and end dates and the provenance of the data, the weight and the weight of a relationship, and so on. We think the RDF star model is a perfect model for schemaless data harmonization. So AnzoGraph DB's flexible data model and analytical capabilities combine to ease the process of loading diverse data sets and then performing data warehouse style queries in analytics. So you can do that. You can run data warehouse style analytics. You can run your own graph algorithms. You can do things like inferencing and more. So it's really about a broad set of analytical capabilities at unparalleled speed and scale. So now let's get into the good stuff. So what's new in version 2? First, user-defined functions. For the first time, AnzoGraph DB is offering an easy way to write your own functions. If you have a particular algorithm, or if you'd like to add some special function to AnzoGraph DB, you can do that now as part of our user-defined functions. These are sort of back-end functions that are part of the application. We support both C++ algorithms and Java algorithms, and we made every effort here to make sure that your math runs on all nodes of the cluster and scales just like our Sparkle commands do. So if you have a particularly hard math problem, we can process that quickly across the cluster. Data science algorithms. So we've put some of our we've created some of our own user-defined functions, and we put our user-defined function capability to practice by building some really useful data science algorithms of our own. The algorithms we started with are mostly around feature engineering, but you shouldn't limit yourself. The idea is that you can harmonize data from many sources with AnzoGraph DB, and knowing which features are relevant to your analytics can be really, really powerful. Distribution algorithms can help you see the curve and determine relevance. And we've really pre-built all of these into a Zeppelin notebook that you can download and try yourself. Now, probably the most exciting news is there is a free edition of AnzoGraph DB, and you can just go to our download page and download it registration free. So for startups and researchers and people looking to embed their own graph analytics in their own applications, we provide a perpetual license that is free and can be used for commercial purposes. Support on the free edition is offered via Stack Overflow, and there are some restrictions on the amount of data that you can have and analyze, but it's fairly large, up to 16 gigabytes with a registration. Users who have more data and want to use a cluster, then they can go to our Enterprise Edition, and you can go to AnzoGraph.com and take a look and compare the two editions. It's very easy. So you've heard the highlights now of AnzoGraph version 2. Now it's time to try it. Just go to AnzoGraph.com and click on Download Now button, the Download Now button, and you'll get instructions for downloading and using AnzoGraph DB. Thanks very much for coming to the webinar.